Good Monday morning to everybody. Yesterday was day 3 of this stay-at-home order. I had reported that people were starting to take this more seriously. I was seeing more people wearing masks. But when I went out for a walk this morning and stopped by a couple places, I was the only person wearing a mask out of the, I don't know, 30 people or so that I ran into in the 2 different locations. And didn't see anybody wearing one in a car or anything like that. It's sad that people think because they're not sick, everything is fine. Or they don't see somebody sick next to them, they're fine. Um, Really, it pisses me off because you might infect me, you might infect my wife, you might infect somebody's kid, you might infect some grandparents, and they might die. Tighten up, people. The CDC recommended the cloth masks for a reason, to stop spreading it and try to prevent getting it. This is not some joke. The entire world is sick and dying. This is not just here in America. It's not just a county away from you or upstate from you. This is every person in the frickin' world. Do you not get that? But anyway, yeah, it makes me upset to see people not taking it seriously suddenly when they were taking it seriously over the weekend. I did notice that a lot of official vehicles parked in places, to monitor things, it looked like, and law enforcement is checking here and there if you're really doing something you need to be doing. So keep that in mind, people. They do write citations. At least, it's only going to get worse because people aren't listening. You're not a god. Don't even try and think it, This will kill you. This could kill your friends, your relatives, your children. Of course, I always push the cleaning. I recommend wiping your doors and doorknobs down daily, the door jamb, because, we touch these things and we don't even realize it. It's just normal procedure, so it's just automatic. And, if you've been out, sure, you washed your hands when you came back, but your dirty hands touched the doorknob and whatever else as you came in and went to the sink. For those who haven't seen the previous videos, I cannot stress enough, anything you bring from outside, whether it be mail, groceries, grocery bags, even freaking food at restaurants, it's not a bad idea to wash your hands before you go touching your face or anything, or food prep or anything like that, because although it's not been proven it can be caught off services, it has not been proven that it cannot happen. And I, for one, prefer to stay in the land of the living and stay well, not sick. My wife has an autoimmune disorder, so I don't want anything befalling her. But here's the thing, everybody assumes that they look at somebody and they look fine. There's not a darn thing wrong with them. Not everybody that gets the coronavirus or carries it shows any symptoms at all. If you're under that delusion, well, I suggest you tighten up, go to the CDC's website, and get the real information. Because you can be sick and not have a single symptom, except for maybe the breathing issue, but not coughing or whatever else. And you go, oh, well, it's just this or it's just that. And plus, you have to keep in mind this is allergy season. So if you're an allergy sufferer or you have breathing problems, your lungs are already weakened, your airways are already tightened, and anything, as you know, any weakness is going to be a way in for this virus. It's crossed the animal barrier and back, tigers getting sick at zoos, dogs getting the virus and dying, cats. If you think that's a bunch of bull, stop looking at Facebook for Christ's sake and get some real information. You know, I've been playing games like Words with Friends 2 and Scrabble on the PlayStation with Sam. And, you know, we have conversations and stuff like that. We got streaming services through our Roku, and thankfully some relatives that are willing to give us access to their streaming accounts so that we have even more to watch. But music is the main thing for me. If it was up to me, the TV would probably hardly ever get turned on. I lived most of my life in front of the boob tube, you know, that brain-numbing box, which is, I mean, phones and tablets and computers are more of the brain-numbing boxes nowadays, but, you know, I was sat in front of the TV as a young child as a way to keep me busy while Mom was doing what she needed to do. But eventually, of course, that just become go watch TV every time I'm a problem, annoying, or, you know, in the way, or whatever. So, I mean, from, I don't know, like age 3 maybe, all the way up to when I got locked up in 2010, which was 40 years old, by the way. Yeah, I lived my life in front of the TV. I could quote you commercials verbatim, follow the words of shows, and I have that kind of memory where I can remember stuff like that, but I can't remember useful stuff, and it's kind of annoying. You know, don't live your life in front of an electronic device just because you're home. Read a book. You know, if you read an e-book, that's fine, but keep in mind you are staring at an electronic device probably way too long, and it can bother your eyes, mess with them. That's not a myth either. Hate to tell you. That's real. Especially for people who have problems with blue light, which is what you're looking at on an LED screen. Blue light. Don't say, oh, it's white. Please, for God's sakes, get an education. I'm sorry that's rude, but I'm about fed up with people who preach everything off the internet, share things without even checking them, share things without links. Think about something. Somebody sent you something that doesn't have a link, but it's supposed to be official information. Hello? Anything you share from official sites has the link. But people need to start thinking, and they need to start thinking real hard. You know, you need to take a look at how your politicians are handling this situation, how they mishandled it in the beginning, how they're still fumbling, trying to avoid doing what's right and telling people to stay home. You know, here we've got businesses that are closed, of course, with the approved list of services. If the businesses aren't on that list, they're not allowed to be open. You know, those people are home, they're out of work, they're looking for other jobs, they're filing unemployment, whatever the case. Actually, you can't file the unemployment unless you've been fired. Or however they want to put it, lose your job because of the virus. You know, another thing I'm seeing is less people, except during the peak hours for work travel and stuff like that. I'm seeing less people on the streets, which is a very good thing, because that means they're going to less places to propagate or should I say populate wherever they're going. I would suggest strongly wearing at least a homemade cloth mask. If you don't know how to make one, go to the CDC website, Center for Disease Control. They have a video that's very simple to make one. You can do it in less than 5 minutes with stuff you have around your house. You know, it's not surgical, no. But those surgical masks, they're needed for people who deal with the sickness on a daily basis. firemen, police, nurses, you know, and of course people who deal with the public. I haven't seen a lot of those wearing masks, and I think I get it. It's probably that the company wants their customers to feel like they're safe when they're in a store, and if their employees are wearing masks, the customers won't feel safe. I get that, but like that person at the cash register is touching all your items you just touched. They're standing there, breathing your breath, and you're breathing theirs. And they do that, in the course of a day in front of that register quite often. They're exposed to a lot of people who are within breathing distance. If you don't think this thing can spread 6 feet, good God, get an education. You sneeze, it flies out a long way. Look it up. Scientific study, it can show you exactly how far the particles fly. I mean, heck, when you fart, there are poop particles in that. I don't know if you're aware. Just breathing, things expel. So, I mean, even if you're not sick, or even if your friends aren't sick, even carrying it, that breathing, you think they're safe. Oh, well, I don't see them coughing or anything. You don't know who they've been in contact with throughout their day or their week. They don't know who you've been in contact with for a week to 2 weeks, which is the incubation period of this. Yeah, you're not sick today, or your friend's not sick today. Doesn't mean in 2 weeks or more, or 2 weeks or so, it's going to be the same way. And if they get sick, and you've been in contact with them within that 2 weeks, you got to self-isolate. If you don't, you're putting people at risk. And that's just not right. As usual, stay on the cleaning. With the allergy thing going on, there's a lot of pollen in the air. I have seasonal allergies, so does my wife. And the masks are very helpful for that. Been using them also when I'm doing work, dusty work and stuff like that, and it helps me breathe so much easier. I just can't begin to help you understand how much easier I breathe when I wear one of those, and especially after I take it off, it's like I exercised my lungs. I can breathe harder and better and deeper. So, there's a lot of positive benefits to wearing a mask, not a single negative one. So please keep that in mind. As the numbers keep growing here in our county and in Florida, people are starting to become numb to it, I think. Oh, it's just numbers. It's somewhere else. It's not here. Okay, so let's say Miami, for example. There's a lot of sick people there. And you assume they're all staying there. Well, one business traveler comes up from Miami to our part of the state here, West Central Florida, for example. And while before they left Miami, they just happened to be near somebody who was coughing at a gas station, a coffee shop, their work office, whatever. And they just brought the virus all the way up here from Miami. And everybody they come into contact with now could possibly have the virus. Please take this seriously. I have friends in other countries who are dying. Their friends are dying. This is not something that just happens in other countries. People are literally dying. Those are not fake numbers you're seeing on the news. Those are deaths. Those are people who are seriously, seriously ill. Don't become numb to it just because it's all in your face. I understand in this day and age, we're so used to seeing sensationalism in the news. Well, that's not what they're doing with the coronavirus. They're not trying to panic you. They're not trying to make you buy something. They're trying to help you and society at large. So, please take things seriously as I'm now into day 4. Hopefully I'll have a less annoyed video for you tomorrow. It just really disappoints me to see people, smart people, ignoring common sense and safety. Uh, I don't know, folks. Hopefully, you're seeing more people taking it seriously than I am. Those who are saying they're going to stay home no matter what and enjoy the TV and all that stuff, that's fine. That's good. Keep in mind, though, if in your state they allow exercise, walking, and things like that within social distancing guidelines, you need to do that. If you're sitting around your house all day, watching TV, playing with your computer, you're probably also mindlessly eating. And even if you're not burning off the calories from the food you are eating. The things you would normally do throughout your day burn a lot of calories. So, do you want to get overweight? Do you want to develop cholesterol issues? Do you want to develop high blood pressure? You know, keep in mind, people, everything in life has consequences, both good and bad. And yes, good is also a consequence. It's something that results of an action or situation, or something you say or think. It's it's just a result of what happens. So, yeah, getting a little bit lost because I keep hanging up on the thing with the masks. But anyway, day 3 was uneventful. Did some work around here. Don't get me wrong. And as usual, helping my neighbors, our neighbors, because we got to look out for each other. There's just no other way. If you're not looking out for your neighbors and they're not looking out for you, God, I feel sorry for you. Because you need support in all this, not just isolation. Because what happens if you have to self-isolate? Now you can no longer go to the store or anywhere else. You're going to need somebody to shop for you, right? If you're being good to your neighbors, there's a better chance they're going to be good to you. If you give your neighbor some toilet paper because they're running low and they can't find any, or a case of water because they're having trouble getting that or getting enough of it, that's good karma, and if you don't believe in God, hopefully at least believe in the concept of karma, because it's real. Trust me. Done a lot of things in my life, both good and bad, and received the karma from both. But the good in my life has far outweighed the bad, and I reap the rewards of that good karma frequently. And I watch people with their bad karma constantly, and I hate to say it, but I have a little bit of a grin on my face when I see somebody, their bad karma catching up with them, but which is not right, of course, for me to laugh at that. But help each other, love each other. This should bring us together, not take us apart. All our individualism, everybody selfishly desiring, oh, I'm different than everybody else. Nobody's the same as me. I have all the answers. That's from everybody's trying their hardest to be an individual while copying everybody else. For example, political stuff. Okay, if you are a real voter, you don't give a darn Democrat, Republican, Independent. You care about the person right for the job. You care about the policies that are right. You don't care who introduced them. You don't care if they're a little conservative or a bit liberal. You care about whether or not they're right for the job or right for America or right for the situation. And that's another thing with the politicians too. Not enough of them are pushing the seriousness of this. Not enough of them are pushing what you need to do or what you should have to do. If you really want the military in the streets, keep ignoring the rules, and they are rules, whether you know it or not. Otherwise, they wouldn't be punishing people with citations. Clearly, that's a violation of a rule if you're getting a citation. And, oh, I didn't get any citations. I went out with this. And da, da, da. Yeah. Stop being selfish. Get out of your head. There's people all around you, and they need your help. So stay home if you don't really absolutely need to get something. And by that I mean something that's a need, not a want. But if you happen to line up your need and want at the same location or while you're out in the same area, that's fine. You're feeding a need as well. But if your need is like a can of coffee, and then you go shopping for clothes at 3 stores or something, that's not right. So try to use common sense, people. Stop being so ignorant. You don't know all the answers. The people on TV don't know all the answers. The people from official channels, Center for Disease Control, governmental agencies, they have the answers. Your health department website has the answers. So let's keep that in mind. Stop sharing crap on Facebook unless it's from some source like the CDC or a .gov site. Just because you saw something in HuffPost that sounded great does not mean it's real, or it's good advice, or it's even relevant. We all have our favorite news sources, but you got to keep in mind that those people are trying to make money. Those reporters have a biased opinion. The stories are biased in the way of bringing in the most customers, getting people to pay attention. It's like those guys who stand on the road with a sign, flipping it around and all that. They're trying to get your attention to their business, and that's just, it's a marketing tool. Everything in life is marketing tools. You're trying to, walk up and introduce yourself to date somebody. You're marketing yourself. You're trying to sell yourself. Trying to win them over. So let's try and win each other over with good examples. I don't think that'd be a bad idea at all. If you don't normally wear a mask when you go out, it takes 5 minutes to make one. Come on, man. And you might make somebody else realize they should be wearing one too, and then they might make somebody realize. And we might all get on the same page here with trying to keep everybody healthy. So that's it for day 3. Sorry for the platitudes, but somebody's got to say these things. I'm tired of hearing people just making it like it's nothing because they don't know anybody in another country where things are more serious. And they're getting serious here. So end of day 3. We're on day 4 right now. Of course, day 4 video will be tomorrow morning. And hopefully I have some better news for you guys. And hopefully I'm in a little bit better mood. Apologize for that. Just, I'm bipolar. So, annoying is annoying and it sets me off. So, y'all have a good day. Y'all have a good Monday morning. You have a good day all day. Please try to stay productive. Staying productive helps you feel better. Helps you feel better about yourself. Gives you energy. And the better you feel, the better chances you have of staying well, because the mental does affect the physical. And another thing that's not a myth, folks. Proven. So, stay well and stay home. Peace.